Hey, Cam, I know you pride yourself in being a cerebral type cornerback. Did you find a similar type of guy? I know Joe is that way, Hayden, and even is Ahkello Witherspoon cut out of that same mold as well?
For sure. Guy that obviously prides himself on, being knowledgeable and being prepared. Guy week in, week out for us did a great job of not necessarily as anybody not want to be in the role they might want to be in, but play really good ball for us. I know it's obviously exciting for him, just to get somewhere and be stationary and, be around a great group of guys. He came in and we welcomed him with open arms, as well as him allowing us to, welcome us into his life. And he jumped on his moving train and never missed a beat. A guy that is a great friend, someone that, like I said, our relationship carries beyond football. So just a guy that, like I say, he really prides himself on his work and his craft. And like I said, that helps his game. It helps, him detail who he is as a person and as a player.
Noah Strackbean.
What's up, Cam? How would you evaluate your first season as a starting outside corner?
Yeah, as you said, this is really like my. I was talking about this earlier. It's like my first year in the league almost. It feels like, and even then, I feel like I sold myself short with missing one game. And that's just the competitive in me. But either way, it was a solid year. It was a solid year. Up and down. But definitely a solid year. A lot to build off of. I learned a lot. Learned a bunch. Just for being able to actually see, really see the league for what it was, as from an overall whole standpoint. And it's only going to diversify, make me better as a player. Make me better as a leader, guy that it opened me up to a lot of different roles throughout the course of the year. I'm not necessarily a big rah-rah or vocal type of guy, but just being in those, being accountable in those situations, and a guy that's looked to sometimes in those moments. I really embraced that this year, and I'm just looking to continue to keep building off of that, continue to get after it in my craft. Like I said, keep defining my role and my understanding with this organization, with this team, and with the defense, and keep putting together winning products to keep achieving my goals, my personal goals, and obviously our team goals, and just come ready prepared next year to get back on track for our number one goal, and that's get into the bowl.
Brooke Pryor.
Hey, Cam, heard a lot of praise for Teryl Austin from guys coming through doing these interviews with us. What is it about him from your perspective that makes him an effective coach for the secondary?
I'm not sure what everyone else has talked, but I'm sure it'll be pretty much the same. Just a passionate leader, man. Just a guy who's really a player's coach. It's always easier when you're able to relate and able to talk to people on a level that goes beyond just defining a role or defining an assignment and that type of thing. And not everyone learns the same. Not everyone takes criticism or coaching those type of things the same. Not everyone is taught the same way, or some are visual. Obviously, we know all these different factors that can go into a person, and he's able to really detail that out with every individual. He's able to get through with every individual, whether it's with DBs or any other guy around the team on in any different level, offense or defense. It's a real personal person who just really enjoys what he does. And that's. I wouldn't not say that's not hard to come by, but, a guy who really comes energized each and every day from start to finish, feeling his best, feeling his worst, you name it. A guy who's always, pushing his hand into the middle of the table, pushing all his chips into the middle of the table to help us collectively, like it's just really appreciative to always, have people like that, especially in your inner circle, in your position group. Because that just motivates you. It uplifts you, and just having that understanding and just being on the same page that always goes a long way. So I think just for him, just having that, having that understanding and just that mindset, just him being himself, that's the easiest way to kind of put it, him being himself, because that's nothing shy of who he is on an everyday basis.
Jeff Hawthorne.
Hey, Cam.
How you doing?
I'm good. Witherspoon, obviously Joe Hayden and Edmonds have decisions to make. What's the impact potentially of free agency with your group? And do you talk to those guys about their future? We're all, closely connected. We talk not as obviously within ball, but so much outside of ball. And like I said, just those, like you said, those individual relationships and stuff that we've gained, and just those great memories, man. Just their friendship and that bond we've built, not just on the field, but just with our time together. Obviously that takes a toll. I seen that a little bit last year with them coming in free agency and that type of thing. And obviously with being within the league, that changes each and every year with new guys coming in and out and being in similar roles with free agency each and every year. And obviously those guys want to make the decisions that they need to for themselves and best for their families and their situations. But they know where love is always going to be. They know where where that bond and that connection is always going to be. And we would be thrilled to obviously have all of those guys back. Obviously on a year-to-year basis, if you ask me, I wouldn't want to lose anybody. You know what I mean? And that's just a testament to just the Steelers. The people that we bring in. And it's deeper than football. It's deeper than just coming here and just putting in the work, necessarily laying the foundation for the weekend and getting ready for prep for a game. Like I said, we spend so much time outside of football, and you can't get those moments back. You can't get those friendship and just that camaraderie, back. And I greatly appreciate all those moments with those guys, whether they're here or not. They know that obviously that's obviously expressed between all of us, but definitely would love to have all those guys back, if we're able to.
Nick Faribault.
Yeah, Cam, you said you learned some new things working at outside corner, and this was kind of your first time. What did you learn about yourself at outside corner? What were your strengths, you think, there, and what were your weaknesses?
It's a lot. I go through a few of them, I guess. Just the toll, like I said, just going into being in 5 years, obviously this has been my biggest year of workload, playing over 1,000 snaps, all those type of things, which I know I'm more than, capable of doing. But it's obviously within repetition, you're not going to be the best at something only seeing it one time, only a few times. I would say you master those things within continuous repetition and seeing those things, and being able to do that this year on a consistent level, on a consistent basis of down in, down out. I might not have been a corner, the whole time in between those downs, but just on a consistent level of just seeing the game, gaining more knowledge, being more situationally aware, just seeing, how teams are schematically trying to attack us, situational things that happen throughout the course of the game, whether it's early or towards the latter part of the game. And, just continue to keep putting myself in good situations and our team in good situations to keep putting our best foot forward and having the outcomes that we want to. That was a big, learning curve, for me. Obviously, the whole thing of being knowledgeable of the game and studying the game, that's always been a big part of my craft and my development as a player. So I spent a lot this year, just expanding that around to the rest of the guys, getting guys kind of not necessarily on the same IQ or level or whatever you want to say as me, but just seeing the game for what it is. A lot of times, a lot of guys make the game harder than what it is outside of just, simple X's and O's and just whether it's making a tackle, making a catch, those type of things. But, you slow the game down. And I've said this a lot before. You slow the game down, obviously, by what you see in your repetition. So just as long as the guys are, seeing some of the basic type of stuff, throughout the course of the year, it might have been something more basic concept or more basic type of fundamental thing that if we might have, jumped on, or if I was able to express that to another guy or situationally to that player, he's more alert or more aware of, and vice versa. You know what I mean? That's just a continuing learning curve of, one, better for ourselves, one, better for this team. And, so I think just it's a lot to detail out for the year, but never complacent on, the good things, let alone the bad things that happen throughout the year. Like I said, it was everything that I definitely expected and wanted for myself coming into the year. And I know where I need to, I guess you could say, put my focal to and just come ready to work, man. Like I said, the grind don't stop. It's learning so much in the game, man. I'm really just eager just to, to see where we can keep taking this thing. I got so much more that I want to accomplish for myself. And, I feel like I'm on, the right path to do that. Just, keep taking it one day at a time, keep taking these strides, man, and but on the same pace, keep bringing people along with me, So that's my biggest thing, the more guys, the more people around me that I keep bringing with me along this journey, and people's lives that I keep impacting and changing, whether it's through football or just me, speaking to them or giving some type of knowledge, that's all I care about. So, I sorry, stammering, but, just this year, sometimes you take a back seat to a lot of stuff and, just kind of see things for what they are. You kind of get a feel for things. And then, once you kind of get a more understanding, you're able to insert yourself where you need to. And, so I'm not saying figuring out those things, but continue to detail those things out with my teammates and the people around me. And like I said, I'm just excited to push into the offseason, but push into the new year and, get ready for next year.
Final two questions. Brian Batko, Post-Gazette.
Cam, it's looking like a guy who came in with you in your draft class, and TJ is probably going to win Defensive Player of the Year, or at least, as Minka said, should be up there. I wanted to ask you, do you have a favorite play of TJ's this year that sticks out to you when I put you on the spot here, a favorite stack or something?
Man, I just love being around that dude, man. We came in together. Like I said, he's obviously not another guy that I don't spend a lot of time with. Like, we all spend a lot of time with each other, man. And it is obviously everyone doesn't see that, on a day-to-day basis or just even within football. That can kind of get skewed different, or, maybe the office guys might only hang with the office guys, defense, that type of stuff. But, man, I just love that dude, man. A really hard-nosed, he's a hard-nosed dude. He come to work each and every day. And he's a better person. I'll say he's a better person than a football player. The person, see out there on the field, all the highlights and all those type of things he does out there on the field each and every week. He's that same person, you know what I mean? And that's what's special about him too. Yeah, man, it's not necessarily get emotional about it, but, when you're around good people, man, it always makes stuff fun. It always makes stuff enjoyable, and it's just a good person, man. It's just a real person, a real good person, person that I pride myself being around and love being around, and it's just his energy, just his charisma and just how he carries himself. That's just his approach. And like I said, the same thing going back to TA, and just TA being himself. That's TJ being himself. I guess as far as a play, there's so many, it's so many of them, man.
You have 23 to pick from, so.
I know, right? Right? But I wouldn't say that's especially a specific one. I would say all of them are special, just because of his growth and what he's been able to do, and how consistent he's been able to do that over his time. Especially even this year, the things that, we've seen him do, with the record, all that type of stuff, all that stuff that doesn't even necessarily matter to him. And he'll tell you the same thing. He just want to go out there and just wreck whoever's in front of him and win football games. And, when you got guys with a mindset like that, doing it all, for their brothers and he's appreciative of all the accolades and all the type of stuff that come with it. But he'll be the first person to tell you that don't matter to him. And like I said, I just love being around him. Like I said, that's my dog, man. I love being around TJ. So.
All right, last question, Chris Adamski.
Hey, Cam, it seemed like over your 5 years in the secondary, correct me if I'm wrong, agree with me, there's been more – you guys have had different game plans for different games in the secondary, right? Different whether it's scheme, whether it be personnel playing different spots, things like that. Is that because of, I know other aside from injuries and COVID and things like that, of course, have you noticed that, and is that a result of game plan specific for different opponents? Is that why you're doing it, or is it people are versatile, or you want to be a surprise, or why do you think that is?
I would say the biggest thing, it's a chess match. Obviously, teams or, NFL overall has a foundation. And I say that within teams have a foundational base of who they are, their identity as a team, things week in, week out that you're going to see from them, on a consistent basis, whether it's plays, whether it's schematics, whether it's that type of stuff. And, for us, we never want to be necessarily a stationary target. I don't want you, shooting shots at me and I'm standing still and I can move. You know what I mean? But all seriousness, just like I said, not being a stationary target. So, sometimes game plans are more fundamental based than other weeks. And sometimes game plans are more versatile and more broad, like I said, than other weeks. And like I said, that's the chess match within the NFL. Obviously some teams have different parts or pieces that we are able to schematic around or game plan around, whether that's receivers, running back, court, all this different type of stuff that teams, are guys around the league that, teams have that are dynamic in their own and do a great job of finding ways to get them the ball, moving around, giving different sets. And, that's just the like I said, I keep getting back to the chess match in it, the chess match within the game, teams are not being stationary targets in themselves. Obviously when you get a beat on a team and you get a beat on, things that they might be running schematically or throughout the course of the game, you start to redirect plans or stay the course of the plan that you're already on, to get the desired result that you want to. And, that's just the challenge within the game. That's the real beauty in the game, because you're really trying to, you're obviously thinking ahead and not necessarily outsmart another team, but you always want to put yourself in the right situation, the right position, no matter how the course of the game is going. So that, when there is times, throughout the course of the game or throughout the, the course of the season where it kind of gets a little up and down or unbalanced, be able to, come back to the things that have worked and been successful for you to, like I said, keep you going. So I think that's the biggest thing. And for us, if I hope I'm answering your question, but for us, like I said, just continuing to just well-round ourselves, obviously you come into each and every year with that fundamental base, who our identity, like I said, who we are as a team, who we are as a defense, our principles, our, just what makes Steeler Nation, what makes Steeler brand of football, and, from that, you're able to diversify yourself and build, for the long fight. The years are getting longer. We had a year like no other this year. We had a longer season, even with, preseason, all this type of stuff. So it's a continuous learning curve. And we're just trying to stay ahead of that. So any way we can, whether it's, like I said, schematics, seeing personnels and sets better, whether that's obviously having a better understanding on the personnel and who we're playing. It's so many different, things that you take into account, not just on a day-to-day basis, but week to week. Teams grow around the league week to week, whether that's in a positive way, whether it's a negative way. And, any team can get beat on any week. There's no bad teams in this NFL. There's no bad teams at all. And, that's just the chess match. So one game you might lose, the next game you come back and detail out your plan a lot better, and
and you have the result that you want to. So like I said, that's just really the beauty of the NFL. It's just continuous growth, continuous learning, and a continuous back and forth of really trying to just one up the next. And we're always trying to get to another level. So that's just the way it's got to be.